Now that you know how to use Photoshop to create an animated GIF, you should also know that it can be used in different ways for an animated GIF. So I'm going to do File, New, and I'm going to do default Photoshop size 7 by 5 with a white background, and click OK. I'm going to use my Type tool, and I'm going to just go ahead and type my initials, K-A-S. I'm going to use my character panel to put in impact font. I'd like you to choose the same font because it's a good one to use for this exercise instead of having to search for it. You're going to make your font big. Whoops. So about 200. Let's see, 250. All right, 250. And your initials might be a little bit different, but we're going to say approximately that. You can also use your vertical scale and horizontal scale to adjust if you need to. I do want to adjust the tracking to give a little bit more space between my letters. That's probably a bit too much. There we go. So it's a little better spaced out. Okay. And then of course I'd like to give it a better color than black. All right. So now what I have to do, because it's currently a text layer, I do need to rasterize this layer. You can do that by control clicking on it and choose Rasterize Type. Okay, so now it becomes a regular layer as if it's any old drawing object. Now, what you guys did not see in the previous video about the animated GIF is this tool called Puppet Warp. And Puppet Warp can be used on countless items. You can use it on clip art, you can use it on photographs, and of course now I can use it on my text. You'll find Puppet Warp up under the Edit menu. Before you do that, however, remember that we want to keep this layer as the original, so I'm going to drag it to the new layer icon. And so now I have two of them. So this second one, I'm going to put the Puppet Warp on. So I'm going to go to Edit, Puppet Warp. It's here around the transform. And what it does is it puts this mesh over it. And when I position my mouse over the mesh, notice I get this pin. Basically, this pin allows me to put things in a specific place. So I'm going to demonstrate first. I'm just going to click the top here, and notice when I push and pull, see how it pulls like the whole letter? Okay, we don't want that. We want other pieces to stay still. So I'm actually going to pin all of that. Even though all I want to do is move those two up and these two down. Okay, so basically what I'm doing is I'm wanting to make my letters look like they're dancing a little bit. Okay, and then I'm going to work on my next letter, and this one has some curves. I might have to pin in a couple extra places. We'll see. And it's okay to have extra pins. So far, when I've used it, extra pins do not hurt. And if I bring this together and make it look like it's a hole, and then I'll do the final one. Here we go. And let's see if I move that out. So each one of these I have moved a little bit. To apply it, I can either hit this check mark, or I can click my arrow and hit apply. And now at the moment you see both layers. So if I hide the bottom layer, that's what this one looks like. Okay, so there to there. Now I could just keep repeating these, or I could have them dance a little bit differently. Okay, so now my choices are, do I want to duplicate this one that I just modified, or do I want to duplicate the original? And it's going to be more or less up to you how you want this to work. So I'm going to go ahead and get the bottom one and drag that to the new layer. And I'm going to move this up to the top layer because I want it to be in the same order so that I don't mess up. And if I need to, I can hide by clicking on the eyeball the layers underneath it. And I'm going to puppet warp again. All right, and now as I pin, when I make this one dance or move, it's going to kind of go in a different direction than the first one did. Okay, so on the first one, this piece went up, this piece went down. I'm going to do that opposite now. I'm going to drag this piece up, and I'm going to drag this piece down. Okay, on the last A, I tried to close up the hole in the middle. This time, I will try to make it kick out this way. Let's say kick out that way. Okay, and that's what I did on the S the last time. So this time I will try to bring it in a little bit. Whoops, that moved it a little too much. Let me try this one first, and then I'll bring that one in. Okay, and then when I apply it, if I hide it underneath, you can see the difference. Now you can continue on and make numerous layers, or you can use the ones you have and have it keep repeating itself. When you do this, I would like you to, right now we have done 2 layers of Puppet Warp. I would like you to have not just the original, but I would like you to have 4, so that you have a total of 5 layers, the original and then 4 different ones to create your animation. Okay, I am going to make duplicates of these and modify them a little bit to be my last 2 layers. Edit Puppet Warp, and if I bring that in a little bit, and I got to pin in more places to keep it the same. There we go. And I'm going to pin that in a different place to see if I can make it move a little bit. And notice that it can rotate as well. Okay, so I'm going to be done with that one. And I'm going to hide these again so that I can make it easier for me to see. Puppet Warp, and I'm going to, these ones went up and down. I am going to make that one go up even more, that one go down even more. And on this one it was the inside. Let's see if I can get it to close all the way. Whoops, don't rotate on me though. Let me pin and see if I can keep it from rotating. There we go. And then this one I kicked out. Let's see. All right. So I have 4 distinct layers. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and show all of them. Right now it looks like a mess. Remember that I'm going to start with my bottom layer and I'm going to create a frame animation. And so Whatever is showing, that's going to be what you see on this layer. So I'm going to hide all those, and you see just the first one. Then I'm going to make a new layer. On this new layer, I don't want that one. I want that one. On the third layer, I actually want, I believe it's this one. And that's why it's in your best interest to put them in order. And that is the one I want. Then I'm going to go backwards, and I'm going to choose that one. And then I'm going to choose that one. And then it's going to repeat from the beginning. So with those 5 frames, I am going to select all frames. I want this one to not run quite so fast. And I'm going to loop it forever. And I'm going to hit play. And now you see your letters dancing. All right. You can press stop. If you needed to adjust any of your layers, you could. Otherwise, just go to File, Save As. And in Schools, save this as period number underscore last name underscore initials animation. Oops, why'd that save it as a PDF? I didn't mean to save it as a PDF. Sorry, save it as a PSD. Save as, I don't know why that was what came up first. All right, let me try that again. 1 underscore last name underscore initials animation. All right, remember the Photoshop file is so that you can go back and edit it later. In order to save it so that you can see it as an animation, you save for web. Make this a GIF. Down here, you see that it's looping forever. You can even hit play, then hit save. It's got the same name. Save it into your schools folder. And then you can check it by control clicking, open with one of the browsers. I'm choosing Chrome. There we go. That is your animated GIF with your dancing initials.